The Amazing Powers of Jen Bricker, an incredible story of love, determination, and dreaming big by Kristen Lewis. Jen Bricker hangs 30 feet above the ground. She's wrapped in red fabric, dangling from the ceiling. The audience gasps as she rolls out of the fabric, her hair tumbling down behind her. She moves with the grace of a ballerina and the strength of a football player. Jen is an aerialist, an acrobat who performs daring feats high in the air. She has appeared on stages all over the world. She has dazzled audiences by hanging from a hot air balloon and soaring off a trampoline. Jen's career is impressive no matter how you look at it. But what's even more amazing is that she was born without legs, alone in the world. Jen was born in 1987 in Salem, Illinois. She was adorable with big brown eyes and thick black hair. But something was different about her. Because of a genetic problem, her legs never formed. Her biological father decided he couldn't handle raising a child with such a serious medical issue. He insisted on leaving Jen at the hospital. He would not let her mother even see her. And so Jen came into this world alone, without parents, without even a name. Her future seemed uncertain at best. She was ours. Less than 100 miles away from Salem, in the town of Hardinville, Illinois, lived Gerald and Sharon Bricker and their 3 sons. Their home was a happy one. Still, Gerald and Sharon felt something was missing from their lives. They had always wanted a little girl, but couldn't have more children, so they decided to adopt one. A friend told them about a baby born without legs who had been placed in a home nearby for a short time. The Brickers set out to meet her. She was tiny, itty-bitty thing, Sharon recalls. She was so beautiful. She looked up and smiled at us, and she was ours, Gerald says. The Brickers spoke with doctors to find out what kind of medical care Jen would need. These doctors made Jen's future seem bleak. It sounded like she would never be able to move around on her own. The Brickers didn't come away with a clear idea of what Jen would need, but whatever it was, they planned to give it to her. Agile and fearless. As it turned out, Jen was a natural athlete. She was agile and fearless. She quickly learned to get around by using her arms. Jen walks by placing her hands on the ground in front of her, lifting herself up and pushing herself forward. She is as skilled at walking on her hands as others are walking on their feet. Her upper body is very strong. Growing up, Jen was always playing with her big brothers. They climbed rocks, swam, and bounced on the trampoline in their yard. When Jen was about 2, her doctor fitted her for prosthetic legs, but she hated wearing them. She chose to move on her hands instead. A can-do spirit. Technically, Jen has a disability, which is defined as something that keeps a person from being able to move easily. But Jen says she's lucky. Growing up, she felt that she could do anything she put her mind to. In the Bricker house, the word can't was not allowed. We were always telling her, you can do anything you want to, Gerald says. Jen was something of a prodigy in sports. In elementary school, she sped around the softball diamond on her hands. She snowboarded and fished and rode horses. She could even roller skate on her hands. But she was best at gymnastics. She would race down the mat on her hands and launch herself into the air, flipping with power and ease. When Jen was 11, she won a gold medal at a state gymnastics championship, beating out the gymnasts with legs. A lot of attention. Jen's success attracted a lot of attention. Articles were written about her. News crews came to the school to film her. She was even flown to New York City for a talk show. At the time, she found the attention confusing. She remembers thinking, this is dumb. I'm not anything special. Why am I an inspiration to you? Like many kids in middle school, Jen sometimes longed to blend in. But as she learned, when you don't have legs, people notice you. It seemed impossible. When Jen was 8, the 1996 Olympic Games took place. She sat glued to the TV. She watched in awe as gymnast Dominique Moceanu tumbled her way to a gold medal. Long after the Olympics ended, Jen continued to admire Dominique. She felt more than a fan. Jen had a lot in common with her idol. They were both gymnasts, both with Romanian backgrounds, and they even had big eyes, tan skin, and long brown hair. Even Jen's mom had to admit that her daughter and Dominique looked alike. There was a reason for that.